me. You're leaning on 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 me. I'm leaning on you. 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 So while I just asked my singers to just have a seat, Patsy to just hold off for a second.
Good morning.
I'm just going to finish with this one thing, Patsy, if I can. We're not quite done yet. So I got something to share with you. It's not going to be easy, but it's really important for you all to hear. Because I went through something the other night, and it broke me in a terrible way. And when I got home at the night, I felt like God said He wanted me to relive it again. I was like, why? Why do I have to relive this again? Why do I have to go again to a funeral of a 9-year-old girl and see what her mother went through? He said, because I want these people inside these walls, inside this sacred place, to realize that we have been grafted. We are a diamond. We are so rare. We are like something that has yet to be extracted from the world. You know, there's no place like ours. Do you know that? Not in our eyes and not in God's eyes. And the reason why I had to live it again was because I had to show you how we really are. Because when I got there, it was the last 2 days before I had to go, I was dreading it. So there's 5 or 6 of us that work in the intensive care unit that have become good friends. We have dinner occasionally together, and we text each other most often when we're not there to see how we're doing. And Jen happens to be one of those people who lost her daughter very unexpectedly, in a matter of hours, actually. And so I thought to myself, we need to go as a group, those of us who were part of that. And you know what's funny? Listen, this is people that some are married, some are not. Some have children, some don't. Just like here, right? We're all so different. All so different. And that's how we were. But let me tell you something. When we got there, and we walked over to her, and we all put our arms around her, her knees literally buckled. And this is what she said: my family's here. And this is what God wants you to know: your family is here. And if your knees are going to buckle, we're going to hold you up. And if you're in the good times, we're going to be in the good times with you. And if you're in the hard times, we're going to be in the hard times with you. Because this place is different. It's unique. It's not like any other. And that's all I kept hearing the Spirit of God telling me. This place is not like any other. So when you come here and people say, I felt like I came home, you know why? You did. You truly came home. And we are each other's people. We are each other's family. We are each other's sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers and cousins and friends. Because when you walk in this door, just like when we put our arms around Jen, she was safe. Because she knew she had us there. And we held her just like people have held me and you when our knees buckled, held her until she could get her footing again and stand up. She said, I'm coming back to work next week. We're like, okay, so soon. She said, I have to be with you all. I don't know how to do this without you. She's got a big family, but we're a different kind of family. And then here at Unity of Syracuse, we are certainly a different kind of family, aren't we? So that's the story I wanted to tell you today for that reason. This place is like no other. It'll bring in the broken, the tired, the weak, the poor, the sick, and we will hold them all until their knees no longer buckle. This is what leaning on people is about. This is what leaning on God is about, right? And it's just, I really believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that God wanted you to hear that today. Just knowing how special you all really are. Diamonds in the rough. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your strength. I'll help you carry on. Oh no, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Sing it with us. Lean on me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your strength. I'll help you carry on. So it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your strength. I'll help you carry on. So it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
I just thought a moment of silence after that would be appropriate. Because we all lean on each other. And that's what we're here for. That's what unity stands for. Leaning on each other. So you can lean on me. Because I know I can lean on you. So, welcome to Unity of Syracuse, where we lean on each other all the time. My name is Patsy Scala, and it's a pleasure to be your platform assistant for today. Unity is a positive, progressive, practical approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. Our mission statement is, Unity of Syracuse inspires, awakens, and transforms lives through unlimited love, prayer, and service. So I would like to warmly welcome everyone who's joining us here today, whether you're joining us via live streaming, love streaming as we call it, or whether you're joining us in person, I want to welcome you. So, if you would stand and greet your neighbors with a bow, with a smile, with a wave, and thank you for joining us on this path. And while you're standing, if you turn to the slide where it should be saying our statement of being. It is. Okay. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And you may be seated, and we welcome a new month. It's February, folks, and the power of the month is strength. The color is a light spring green. The disciple is Andrew, who actually was the first person to follow Jesus. He was the brother of the well-known St. Peter. The holy woman is Tamar, the daughter-in-law of Judah, who carried forth the line that the Christ came from. The color is spring green, and the location of this power is the small of our back. And have you ever felt the strength when your back is strong? Yeah, that is the center of our strength. So, now we welcome our children and welcome them to go to their YFM programs. And as they prepare to depart, let's lift our arms in praise and ask, may you be guided by love, justice, and compassion. Embrace your unique gifts and use them to mold and create a more inclusive and a more just world. Walk boldly, knowing you are supported and empowered to make a difference. Our young people make a difference. We have a flourishing and inspiring youth and family ministry. Now we prepare for our message by a reading from the Daily Word. When I looked at the Daily Word this morning, I thought, oh wow, it's joy. So, joy is mine through the seasons, all the seasons of my life. Throughout my life, joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining, even when it's obscured by clouds. Joy is there in my happiest moments and also in my darker times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change, and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is a part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and live from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness, and the wings that help me soar through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy, and I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. And from Psalm 16, verse 11, you show me the path of life. In your presence there is the fullness of joy. So I thought, what am I going to say about joy? Because joy is. And while I was trying to figure out what I was going to say about joy, I wasn't very happy because I didn't come up with anything. So I thought I would talk about the difference between joy and happiness, because there is a difference. Happiness changes. It depends on things in our lives. Joy is an eternal presence. Joy is always there, whether we're happy or not. Joy is always, always, always present. It's something that lives. It is a part of the divinity. It's a part of God. So it is always present. So in those moments when you're wrestling with what you're going to say or what you're going to do, and you don't feel very happy about it, remember, joy is there for you. Joy is there for you. As an eternal, everlasting, always present essence. So, we move on to our 5 basic principles. Unity's 5 basic principles are our guideposts. We live by them. They're tested by experience. They remind us how the divine presence unfolds through our lives. And now we open the space for anyone who would like to give a personal testimony as to one of the 5 basic principles. Basically, they are: God is, I am, I create, I pray, and I live these principles. So who has experienced one of these principles during the week? Oh, come on. Where is the joy in? Okay, Tom.
Hello, everybody. I would say this probably applies to number 1. God is the source and creator of all. God is good and present everywhere, and we create our life experiences through our way of thinking. So I told a few people about this, but not everybody. Last year I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and the first thing, nobody wants to hear this kind of news, but immediately I started applying my unity principles and looking at the positive sides of it. And wow, I got cancer, what could be positive about that? Well, what was positive is we caught it early. So there's this 𝐸𝐭 scale that goes from 6 to 10. So you want to be closer to the 6. Mine was a 7, which is pretty low on the scale. That's good. The second thing they needed to do was confirm that it hasn't spread to other areas. It didn't spread. There's another positive. And I just kept a positive attitude through this whole procedure. And then I went through external beam radiation. And when you have prostate cancer, they usually measure your PSA. Mine was at a level of 7.5. Anything over 4 is of concern. And actually, when he said it was 7.5, I said, well, that's not that much over 4, is it? He said, well, when you were here 2 years ago, I took 2 years off from going to my annual physical because of COVID. I didn't want to go to the doctor's office when I'm well. Everybody's going there for COVID. That's why I didn't go for 2 years. So then I find out that, well, it was 1 2 years ago, so mine went from 1 to 7.5. He goes, you got to go to urology. So they did, and they confirmed it was prostate cancer. And so now my PSA level is 0.1. Almost 0. Thank you.
Wow.
All right. Well, what I wanted to share with you this morning, unity principles and universal principles are the same thing. And it suddenly came to me this morning as I was driving here, because I was going to have a chat with Sally this morning, because I've had occasion to have to create a resume, right? I've never had to write a resume in my life. And I thought, well, why? Because this goes back to, obviously, quite a while ago. And so coming down, driving down in the sunshine, I thought, I'm going to have to tell Sally, I've never had to write a resume in my life. This is going to take me forever, because it's a long way to go back with dates and all that kind of thing. So it suddenly occurred to me, this universal principle. Well, how was it, Kate, that you kind of didn't have to write a resume? The reason being is because I just fell into these jobs, or I knew people that recommended me. So I didn't have to do anything like that. And what does this tell us? What we draw to us. And I've had a pretty full life, I've had a pretty successful life. And it's somehow or other what we draw to us, what we believe in. And so I just want to encourage everybody, just let it flow. And just be there and accept.
Thank you so much, Tom and Kate. And those of you who are in love streaming land, think of how you've used these principles throughout your life and throughout the week that has just passed. Now we'll have the blessing of the prayers. Unity was and is founded on prayer. The prayer chaplain serving today is Mina Bradley-Carver. A prayer chaplain is available to pray with you here at the service, in this box, or after the service. In this box are written prayer requests that we've collected this week. We invite you to add yours at any time, in writing, or just hold the prayer in your heart. Written prayer intentions are sealed and held in confidence here for 30 days. And then when they're mailed to Silent Unity, where they're held in confidence for another 30 days. At Unity Village, the Silent Unity service has been holding prayer vigil for over 130 years. You can reach them any day, any night, at any time by calling 1-816-969-2000, and a chaplain will pray with you. At this time, I'm going to ask Mina to bless the prayer intentions.
Morning, everyone. Good to see y'all. And the sun, oh my God. I had to take a second look when I noticed this morning. Whoa! Anyway, just one of many blessings in our day today. So as we close our eyes, maybe, or whatever, anyway, get into a grateful, joyous place, we say thank you, Divine Creator God, for the reminder that our prayers are always answered. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, always. And additionally to knowing that, I say thank you for all the blessings we get, every now moment, every day, and on and on. And thank you for our ability to pass those blessings on. We can ripple our goodness, our love, our peace, our joy, even sometimes our pains, out into our world to make a difference. What a gift. We are so blessed. So, thank you, God, for being there for us and showing us that we are the I am. Amen.
Thank you, Mana. And now I would like to present our celebration team again. Or just you. You're a celebration team. You're a celebration. All within yourself. And then our speaker who will speak on alchemy as a means of achieving wholeness, Cybie Mauro.
I know you know this song. If you do, you can sing it with me. You can close your eyes and just find that place within you to get ready for whatever it is that's here for you today with the message. Because you know, in Cybie Talks, it's like, you know, you kind of just follow and listen and put your hands over your head and say, what am I doing? I've always called her my Yoda. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you, Lord. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing is serving you. The greatest thing, I know you know it, in all my life, there you go, is serving you. Beautiful. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. Let's just go back to loving. The greatest thing, oh, in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. And then lastly, knowing. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. Yes, it is. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you, serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
morning. Good morning. Am I speaking? I've never done it twice in a row. It gives you empathy for ministers, and my mind map doesn't fit. Isn't that crazy? All right, we'll bend it. There we go. Sort of. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm glad to be here. And I apologize. There's something on my phone that I will be reading in here, and so I'm trying to find it again. And I knocked it out. There we go. Okay. So we are embarking on this journey, this quest towards wholeness, to wholeness. And so the book that we've been studying is The Quest for Wholeness by Robert Brumet. And I just want to start with a poem. And this poem is called Birthright by Dana Folds, and she is a spiritual person that I met through my yoga. Birthright. Despite illness of body and mind, in spite of craving, despair, or habitual belief, who you are is whole. Let nothing keep you separate from this truth. The seed illumined from within longs to be known for what it is. Undying, untouched by the storms of life, there is a place inside where stillness and abiding peace reside. You can ride the breath to go there. Despite doubt or hopeless turns of mind, you are not broken. Spirit surrounds and embraces you from the inside out. Awaken through all that hides this light. Awaken to the love and fullness that is the truth of who you are. And so that's our quest, to reconnect to the truth of our being. And I just want to say that the title of my talk is Spiritual Alchemy, but I have a subtitle. The subtitle is, There's Gold in Them There Ills. Yes, indeed. And so as we think about a journey, we take a journey and we go from one place to another. But a quest is different. A quest is a seeking something. It is a seeking something that is worthwhile or of value. And we can make a conscious decision to embark on that quest. And if we don't make that conscious decision to go on the quest for wholeness, Spirit sometimes puts us on that path through some of the things, the ills that we go through. So something in us needs to wake up and start that quest. And many times it's something that we would prefer not to be our alarm clock. I like that, lean on me, and everlasting arms. Alarm has arm embedded in it. So just think about that. When you're in an alarm state, what's the arm that you can reach for and lean on? So our quest is seeking the true self, the truth of our being, our wholeness, our I am, our Christ nature. And so something that begins to wake us up might be dis-ease. It could be disease in body or mind or emotions or spirit. And then we have a choice. We can see ourselves as on a journey, on a quest, still looking for that wholeness through our experiences, or we can go to victim consciousness and we look for things to blame. So I just want you to know that when you're pointing the blame at some condition, some other person, some circumstance in your life, notice that there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. And those are an indication that there's something within that we need to look at when we go through the challenges of life. So, I want to say that years ago I went to a workshop with Carolyn Mace, some of you may know her, and she said that many times, she's a spiritual teacher, and she was speaking, and she said, many people come to me all the time and say, I want more consciousness, and that's what we're talking about, bringing the consciousness of wholeness up into our awareness, into our experience. We already are whole, complete, and perfect in our divine self. And we go through these human experiences which make us feel separate from that. So she said, people are like, I want more consciousness. And she said, one woman said, I want more consciousness, and I'll do anything to get it. And she said, except give up bowling on Thursdays. And I think that that's what we want, but we don't maybe want to go through the dark wood to get to what we really want. But she said, we all have a guardian angel that's holding our wholeness, that's ready to assist us in that quest. But they're pretty much sitting around watching CNN with the clicker in their hands. And she said, but then one day, you're vacuuming the house and you're going, is this all there is to life? And the guardian angel turns the volume down. Is this it? Is this the moment? And then, no. You go back to your regular routine. And then one day, you have a breakdown. You're just like, God help me. This is not the life I want to live. And the guardian angel gets up, turns off the TV, and says, okay. And you wake up the next morning, and your husband's leaving you, or your job is gone, or something tragic happens, you develop an... And she said, that's what consciousness, the road to consciousness might look like. Whatever befalls us is part of the journey. And the alchemy is, so in medieval times, there was a search for a process that would convert base metal into gold. And so metaphorically, alchemy is applied to the spiritual journey. It means that we take what the human personality experiences, and all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and transforms it into the gold of our spiritual essence. And so we come and take that, all the experiences of our lives, and they come into this gold. They take us down into the gold of our being. But first we have to acknowledge that we have a need. And then we have to accept what is. But what is not permanent. We have to accept what is in the moment, but not as permanent. And so we stop thinking about it in terms of pushing it away. We're trying to fix it, change it, and realize that it is us that need to be changed. And so I'd like to read you a couple of pages from the book itself. Really, this chapter was just so rich. It's amazing. He says, blaming other persons or circumstances for our suffering and then not seeing the need for our own spiritual growth is what takes us off track. Spiritual healing begins with the recognition that I'm the one who needs to be healed. Spiritual healing begins when we are willing to be changed. Notice that it doesn't say willing to change. It says willing to be changed. That's the alchemy. That's the God presence within us that will transform us into what can come into contact with our wholeness and know it as the truth of our being. Spiritual healing is a healing of consciousness. So he says the true solution to every human problem lies in the discovery of our spiritual nature, which is our wholeness or the gold within. So I like to think that the ego wants bling and the spirit wants gold. And that's really kind of like the distinction there. So, and he quotes Jean Houston, says, in times of suffering when we feel abandoned, perhaps even annihilated, There is occurring at levels deeper than your pain the entry of the sacred, the possibility of redemption. Wounding opens the doors of our sensibility to a larger reality. And she says, it is blocked by our habituated, conditioned point of view. The ego's point of view cannot see the gold, cannot see the gold. So I loved your testimony this morning, Tom. It was such a perfect example of living your life in a certain way so that when challenges arise, they don't send us completely down the tubes. We build that strength, our word of the month, strength, our power of the month. It builds our strength. We have to practice, just like go to the gym to build your strength in your body. We have to do things in our lives to build our inner strength, to open up the channels so that that truth of our being shines through. If we are open to the possibility of some wisdom at work beyond our human understanding, we have opened the door to our spiritual healing. Our suffering is an opportunity for deeper awareness of our spiritual nature. We may get a glimpse of a gift that lies before us, and that gift is always a greater degree of wholeness. So when we're feeling broken, we don't feel that wholeness, and there is something that we need in order to bring us into that consciousness of the journey. So we have to know that it is all a process, and we have to trust the process. So one of the things that we have talked about in a couple of my groups that I'm in, I learned recently about something called the help prayer. And so when I'm likely to ask for help from someplace, God, whatever, HELP becomes the acronym for help. So just putting my hand on my heart and saying, HELP stands for Hello, Eternal, Loving Presence. Can you do that with me? Hello, Eternal, Loving Presence. It takes us from feeling helpless to a feeling of wholeness, that there is something within us that can guide us to what it is that we need for the healing we seek. And so that is such a beautiful, and it takes me from seeking that help out there to knowing that it is right within me. Mary O'Malley, who is an Irish mystic, I'll call her, she's an author, and she lived a horrendous childhood, and but she's now one of the most joyful people on the planet. And her book is called What's in the Way is the Way. And we can't spiritually bypass what we have to go through. We have to process. It is a process. So the ego's trying to fix, change, eliminate, resist, so that it can get back to the status quo. But the spirit is trying to alchemize us, to change us, not change the circumstances. So it says in his book, God works through you, not for you. And it takes some time to think about that. What does that mean? God works through me, not for me. God shows up as the circumstances of your life. They're all arrows pointing to the way of awakening to your inner wholeness. It may be a health challenge, a mental health challenge, an emotional challenge, a psychological challenge. These challenges are all part of what we know as the ills of life. And yet, instead of trying to change those, our goal is inner peace. Coming into oneness with our wholeness, it gives us inner peace. And so, we have to look beyond appearances, and we go to I don't know mind. The ego thinks it knows, it thinks it has to control, it thinks it can control, it lives in the illusion of control, and when it loses control, it doesn't know where to go, it doesn't know what to do. but we have to admit that we don't know. And so I like to say, I like to go to I don't know mind. It's a really lovely, spacious place. It's an admission that I'm in a place that I can't figure it out by myself. And lo and behold, once you admit it, then help comes. So, we can't, Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is, she wrote that book, and I love that book. It has that process of going through the ills of your life and then coming to that final question to turn it around, and there we are, the fingers pointing back to us, and she gets us to look at that. But her book is titled Loving What Is, and you can't love a cancer diagnosis. You can't love the loss of a loved one. You can't love those things, but you can trust. You can trust that there is a divine order within all of what befalls us. And so my prayer is, when I'm in that struggle, I pray, help me to see this differently. Help me to see beyond appearances. Because I know that with divine eyes, I could see this differently. With divine eyes, I could see it in the context of a much bigger, larger picture. And that bigger, larger picture is my journey, my quest for wholeness. So if we can look at our obstacles as stepping stones and not obstacles, then we can pray, help me to help reveal what needs to be revealed so that I can know my wholeness. True healing is simply, not simply the removal of symptoms, but the experience of greater wholeness. Sometimes that healing in the physical realm or in that realm happens, but not always. It's inner wholeness, it's inner peace that is the actual healing. So I'll share a little story about my own experience. This is many, many years ago, and yet I was a Unity student, so I know it was within that time. So I have 3 sisters. My maternal grandmother died in her 30s of breast cancer. I have 3 sisters who have had double mastectomies. So I am, medically speaking, a prime candidate for that condition as well. So I'm watched carefully. And one year I went and had the mammogram, and then went and had the sonogram, and then was referred to a surgeon. And there was a lump in my breast, apparently. But what was so interesting, and why I remember this so clearly, is in the waiting room I was reading a book, so it was long before iPhones. And the book I was reading was about Myrtle Fillmore. And the doctor said, "Oh, is that the biography of Millard Fillmore's wife?" And I said, "No." I said, it's a book about a healing process or something like that. And he said, "Oh." So examining me, and he said, "Well, I want a biopsy." And I said, "What can I do to convince you not to do that?" And he said, "All right, I'll give you a month." He said, "You come back in a month's time. If it's the same or larger, immediate biopsy." Okay? And I said, "Good." So I didn't just go away for the month. I went away for the month and went and looked in here. And I said, okay, the breast is in the area of the heart. What is there in me that I could look at? What is this trying to tell me? Is there a message in it for me? And so I went deeper, and it was like, yeah, you're closed off to love. And so I began doing things to try to open my heart more, to try to increase that vibration of love within me, to look at the blocks that I have to receiving love and giving love. I did some sound things, I did some prayers, I did so many things. And when I went back, he had an intern in the room, and he said, "Do you mind?" And I said, "No, it's fine." And he examined me, and he said, "Well, if I hadn't examined you before myself, I wouldn't have believed it." He said, "It's completely gone." And with that journey, what really happened the healing that happened, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place this morning. It's been a very emotional service for me. He said, during that time, I went to fear. I was trying to spiritually bypass my fear by saying, I don't worry about it, I'll deal with it as it comes. But I was trying not to feel my fear. I was going to a place where I was saying, it's all in divine order, everything, and that's spiritual bypassing. I was trying to jump over my feelings. I was trying to jump over my experience and go to that place. But you can't go around, you have to go through. And when I finally realized this could be cancer, I could have the same experience that my sisters have had. How will I deal with it? What will it mean for my life? And I just started thinking about those things. And I got sad and felt my sadness, my fear. But I came to church, as usual, on a Sunday, with all those fears alive in me, and we sang the song that Sally sang. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. And the greatest thing in all my life is serving you. And when I sang those songs, those verses, an immediate peace came over me. And I said, if this path is the way that I will know, love, and serve you, then I accept it. And that's the truth of it. That was my healing. It didn't happen in any other way except my acceptance of what is as part of a larger path. In this book, Brumet talks about crucifixion and resurrection. And the truth is, we go through birth, death, rebirth experiences all the time. Richard Rohr would call it, there's order, disorder, reorder. We are constantly moving through this cycle of crucifixion, resurrection. And so the crucifixions in our life don't destroy us, but they begin to cross out which stands in the way. They cross out, and so Fillmore says it much better than I. Here we go. He says about crucifixion, you are passing through a transforming process that will be followed by a resurrection of all that is worth saving. Begin responding to each life experience with greater equanimity. That is, accepting each experience with non-resistance, with a balanced mind and heart. And don't wait for calamity before you start practicing non-resistance. Begin with the small challenges in your life. If you do experience a major crucifixion, you then can meet it with non-resistance because you will be already have a firm foundation to build upon. This foundation is the ground from which the resurrection emerges. And there's a saying that it's too late to dig the well when the house is on fire. And so when we experience something that really is a fire in our life, if we have done our practices to know that there is something greater than each individual experience, then we know that of myself I cannot change this. Of myself I can do nothing, as Jesus said. It is the Father within that does the work. So it is the wholeness within me, it is the Christ presence in me that does the healing of consciousness. And it may or may not change the outer circumstances, but it gives me a healing within so that I can live from more equanimity, more peace. So one way to practice building that strong foundation is through gratitude. And so gratitude is something that we can call upon to appreciate. And so Tom, your testimony was so perfect. You looked for the good. you found gratitude throughout your journey, and you were shining this morning when you were talking about it. So we just honor you, not only for going through it and staying the course with your practice of gratitude, but for sharing it with us this morning so that we too could experience it. So, there's a story about good luck, bad luck, who knows? The man that has a beautiful horse and the horse runs away and they say, oh, bad luck. And he says, good luck, bad luck, who knows? And then that horse comes back and brings back a beautiful mare with it. Somebody said, wow, that's good luck. And they say, good luck, he says, good luck, bad luck, who knows? And then his son is trying to break in the new horse and falls off and breaks his leg. And people say, bad luck. And he says, bad luck, good luck, who knows? And then there was a conscription for young men to join the army. And when they came by, he was passed over because he had a broken leg. So when something happens or occurs to us, good luck, bad luck, who knows? Always within it, there's a gift. There's some gold that we can find within, and that will bring us toward our healing, towards wholeness. So I'd like to do a little meditation, if I can find that thing again. Okay. I left it home. Don texted it to me, and now I have to find his text again. I found it. All right. So just let's begin with that help prayer. So just put your hand on your heart and say, hello, eternal loving presence. You can just say it to yourself. Hello, eternal loving presence. It puts you in the place where you need to be. Hello, eternal loving presence. Hello, my true self. I am awake to the I am presence within me. I am whole in the divinity that is my essence. My Christ nature is alive in me now. Nothing and no one separates me from the truth of my being. Any sense of separation is an illusion held in mind. I release. I let go. I am both human and divine. I am love in expression. I am open, renewed, and inspired. I am free to be who and what I came here to be. God is my life, in my life, as my life, through my life. God is the gold. The gold I seek is already within me. And so just take that in. That what appears as a challenge, a struggle, has within it a gift to reveal the gold within. We can feel broken, but we are not broken. That is the truth of the gold within us. So as we consciously take this journey of finding our connection, the depth of our being, we say thank you. Thank you for the challenges that show me the way.
me to know that what seems to be in the way is the way. When I go through the darkness, I know there is a light at the other end. The dawn after the dark night. And so, I say, with gratitude, thank you for my life, all of it, everything that brought me to this moment is the truth that points the way back home to my true self. And so it is. Amen. And so come back to this room, this time, this space, and know that your wholeness is already established, and all that we experience is part of the alchemy, of the changing process that can take whatever we've experienced into the gold of our wholeness. Namaste.
Hello, eternal, loving presence. Cybie, thank you so much. That was so powerful, so deeply, profoundly powerful. So thank you. So now it's time for our sacred offering. When we pause and reflect on the abundance of blessings that have been freely given to us, may these offerings, given from the heart, filled with gratitude and compassion, be a testament to our commitment to love and transformation in our faith, in our community, in the wider world, and I'm going to add, and in ourselves. May they be multiplied and lifted as we use our good to create a more harmonious world. Divine love, answer me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. You are my source. As you give of these blessed offerings, think of the joy that is present within your life, within your world, within yourself. Think of all you have to give and all you are to love. Take a deep breath. And let's hear our announcements.
Good morning, well, good afternoon now, everybody. It's officially. I'll make it very, very quick. One, as we all know, there is a meeting that's happening after the service. So we want to get started as close as we can to 12:30, noting that there is some time, but I've just been told there is more food than there are bodies in the seats. So please eat your fill and maybe take a to-go box home along with whatever it is you brought in. So that's number one. Number two, as we talk about alchemy and rebirth and bringing in new, it is that time of the year where we start to schedule new members classes. So if you are interested in that, you would see Miss Cybie Mauro, who is up here speaking. Can't recommend it enough if you've been coming in on a regular basis. There's some really great benefits to being a member and joining the family, and one is getting your own prayer chaplain, and it's that time of the year where we look for prayer chaplains. So also Miss Cybie Mauro is who you would see for that. So if you would like to, mine would be one too. I think everybody knows who the prayer chaplains are, so if you're interested in joining the team, let us know, essentially. So we are going to be looking to get both of those intakes underway. So new members classes, see Cybie. If you want to become a prayer chaplain, let one of your prayer chaplains know. I think that's it for announcements. So we'll see everybody downstairs for fellowship.
Thank you, Natasha. As always, there is a lot going on, and our luncheon should be very special. So let's go forward with this benediction, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well.
She looks like she's a little, cantankerous and little.
Yes.
On the good side of it.